welcome to the Get at Gaming Plus podcast. I am Alex,
I'm Ben.
and we like to talk about whatever we like to talk about, whether that is video games, TV shows, card games, anime, whatever. We want to bring it to you, and I don't know, convince you to play our things and like our things, what's wrong with you, as Reggie would say. Um, yeah, we got a really good show today. um, we got uh, we got a Nintendo Direct that happened recently that we would like to talk about, but that's gonna be a big boy. So we're not sure if we're gonna talk about anything else, but like that's the main thing on our plate today. Um, Ben, how you been doing? It's been a while since we've recorded or done anything like
Yeah.
this, because it's
Um,
like we do these bi-weekly, by the way,
yeah.
on YouTube and the audio services and stuff. But I want to say last time that we recorded, we did like two of them that time, and then we just haven't really done stuff in front of a computer for a bit. So
Yeah, because we had the one interview we did, and then right after it, like shortly after, we did the episode with some of the other Summer Game Fest stuff. So yeah, I've been good. I started a new job, so that's been fun. Just learning. I already really like it, which is good. And then yeah, I really it's so funny. Like, not to segue into like what I've been watching or playing, but I really have gotten into Justified.
I don't know what that is.
Uh, am I saying it right? Now I gotta look it up. So
Is this the one that's on Max?
no, it's on Hulu.
Just,
Now I gotta look it up.
is it newer?
Justified.
Is it new?
No, so it was
Okay.
an FX show. It had the guy. It had the guy that was on. That had Boba Fett's armor from Mandalorian.
Right. Yeah, I
So
remember
he's
you talking to me about this, not on a show, but yeah.
yeah. I hit season 3, but he's a U.S. Marshal.
Mm-hmm.
By the way, he does the same quick draw stuff. I've been watching a ton of that.
Okay.
Like a ton of that. And
Okay.
so there's 8 seasons, and for some reason they got another season. So which starts sometime soon. Out of the blue, they got a new season. So I guess it's just been that popular. Thank you,
Cool.
TikTok, for showing me clips of that. And I'm like, oh, I really want to watch this. Also, not to kind of binge on what I've been watching, Mighty Gemstones came back. I choked on water in the last episode, and I was legitimately choking on water.
Yeah.
My wife was like, "Are you okay?" I was red. I mean, the water was coming out my nose. It was bad. The show gets. I don't know how the show gets funnier, but it seems to keep getting funnier. So, how have you been?
I've been good. I've gone to a few different things and places since you last saw me. Yeah, I went to a swap meet for Dead Media, which was interesting. A lot of VHS tapes, VCRs, Laserdiscs, Betamax. We got a Betamax player for $5.
Wow.
Apparently, it doesn't work. The guy said it worked, which means it turns on. And then we tested it and working on it and stuff. And it's it works somewhat. Like if it's paused, it's fine. If it's fast forwarding, it's fine. But when it's actually playing, it's very messed up. So it might be the heads. I don't know. There's just a lot of issues that it could be. But yeah, there's like a test tape there. There's American Tail, and was it Willy Wonka in the Chocolate Factory? Like that's what the old one was called. Yeah, I always get those confused because like the book is called Charlie and Chocolate Factory, and then I think that the new one with Johnny Depp was called Charlie and Chocolate Factory. So then I just think that it's always Charlie because that's what we called it when I was younger too. Because you just say the book's name. But yeah, I guess they're all. We don't think it's the tapes themselves. We think it's the player, but I mean, the player is $5. I almost bought a Laserdisc player, and then I didn't. It was $100.
Man, those things are going up in value. Especially the Laserdisc.
It looked really cool. It looked really, really cool, but like it doesn't have optical audio, or like digital audio, optical audio, and Not all of them do have that, but I would rather, if I'm spending the money on a piece of equipment like that, I would rather pay a little more to have the better audio for certain discs and things. Because not every disc does it, but if they do, I'd rather have the better audio instead of
That makes
the red
sense.
and white. But I mean, we have one already here. It's not mine. But I did see like a bunch of different laser discs. Like they had like Back to the Future 1, 2, and 3 for
Oh
$5
wow.
a piece. I did not get them. There's Star Wars, a bunch of things, but yeah, I did get something, and I'll show that here in a little while. But yeah, it's been a fun week. Just busy playing games, watching shows, and that's what we talk about here. Watching directs. um, but yeah, I guess we'll go into what we've or no, we'll go into hidden trophies first. We'll show off what we've got. I only have really two things, so to segue into it, I guess I'll just go here really quick. So from the Dead Media swap meet thing, I guess I have other things, but they're in the other room. I'm too lazy. I got like a Dot Hack GU trilogy soundtrack. I don't know if I talked about that, but I have that, and that's pretty cool. But it's like based on the movie that I don't like, so but like it's still cool music. So we'll do that. So this is what I got from the swap me audio listeners. I'm holding up a VHS tape. This is a Diddy Kong Racing VHS tape that you got from like Nintendo in the mail. And
Oh
so
wow.
it says a wild racing adventure, and then it says get ready for the must have title of the year. So I haven't watched it yet. I'm assuming, yeah, it's just a tiny VHS about Diddy Kong Racing. It was $10. I used to have one about Donkey Kong, I think 64. I had one about like the Star Fox one, you know, like the famous one where was it then Sony and Sega capture like the Mario toy, and then they're like torturing him. It's like, no, I'll tell you about Star Fox. We got the Rumble Pack, and it's like this weird sketch.
Remember that.
Yeah, so like I had that tape when I was younger, and then like Kmart also used to have tapes that you could just like get from them, um, that were Nintendo issued as well. So like yeah, I got that, which is pretty cool. I'm looking forward to watching it. Yeah, I almost bought the Laserdisc player. I did not. I'm happy I didn't because I found something else that was a little over $100. So hello everyone. My name is Alex, and I have a problem. I accidentally bought too many die hack cards. Uh, I bought 11 more boxes. However, this is set 2 instead of set 1. So I have 12 boxes of set 1 and 11 boxes of set 2, plus 2 other boxes that friend of the show Zach bought for me, of this set. But like if I'm buying, like, there were 11 of them, I might as well just buy them all, because like who else really wants Dot Hack in Indiana?
Um, According to eBay, not Indiana, but people do want those.
I mean, I guess technically people at Gen Con want them because there's that Gen Con thing happening, but like, too bad. I got it. The lady at the register asked me if I was a reseller, and I told her no, I'm a collector. And then she looked at me weird, and she's like, "Well, enjoy your game." I was like, "Thanks." It's like, would you have more respect for me if I was a reseller instead of just a
They
nerd?
they probably wouldn't have sold you all of them, to be honest.
Yeah.
Um, I've had that situation before. Not to kind of go on a side tangent. When GameStop first started doing their clearance at like a huge percentage, and they had all these games out there, I bought a couple games, and there was one I was like, "Do you guys have two copies of it?" And they were kind of looking at each other, and they were like, he had to ask his manager so they could buy two of the same game,
Hmm.
which is weird to me. I mean, who cares? I mean, it's
Yeah.
a sale. I mean, now granted, I bought those to sell them specifically, which
That's not what you told them, though.
No, they didn't ask,
Okay.
but I was like, but that thing is, and I've seen people when they've gone places, or I'm on a couple of groups that talk about that, like,
Hmm.
and they've said like, oh, I went so and so, and I tried to buy this game, and there was a bunch of clearance, and they wouldn't let me buy it because I was a reseller, which
Yeah.
is weird because it's on clearance anyway. So what does it
Yeah.
matter?
So these are $10 a piece, for boxes. There's about maybe 300 cards in there total. I have not opened up any of these. I have opened up 4 boxes so far of the original set out of 12. Um, I First 3 boxes were gold. I got everything I needed except one card. Now I'm just missing one card. So I'm probably gonna end up opening up all these stupid boxes. I'm gonna be so mad at myself because I'm just looking for this last card, and like I haven't checked eBay, but I doubt anyone's selling singles of Dot Hack. Like I really, really doubt it. And if they are, they're probably gonna charge an arm and a leg for like an X,
Oh yeah, the
whatever.
only thing I saw were the boxes themselves, which I looked because when Alex told me he got those, I went to the same place here to look because I technically am a reseller. But um, there was a lot of people, and a couple of them had the same sticker on there that you had.
Yeah,
So obviously it's known, but um, yeah, I it's crazy. I didn't see any single cards at
yeah.
all. I was looking for boxes though.
Hmm. Yeah, and then supposedly there are some uh ollies, I guess. I'll say it. I don't care. I think I've said it before. There are some that have the actual starter decks with them. And I know let's see. I want to say Zach got me 2 of each, and they're like 2 starter decks. Um yeah, I don't know if there are oh yeah, I guess there are. Okay, so 1 2 there are 4 starter decks total. So I think he got me the 2 from this set, the second set. Um, but yeah, no, I bought a lot of those, and I don't regret it necessarily. I do kind of regret spending a lot of money though because I tangent a little bit again, but this whole podcast is tangents. Honestly, we might as
Yeah,
well call this tangent gaming. Get at it, tangent. But I had to actually go to work last week, like physically and stuff. I normally work remote, but I had to go for training and stuff, and like take a certification exam thing. I passed. I found out I passed, and I barely passed. I got exactly the amount that you needed to pass, but pass is pass. Um, and I barely drive my car. I just don't really do that because stuff is in walking distance, or I just don't. I work from home, so I just don't drive it. Like there are times when sometimes I just don't drive it for like a week, maybe at the latest, a week and a half, and then I pick it up and I drive it again. But I drive short distances and I come back or whatever. I drove to this place and I all of a sudden just felt it where I was just like, this doesn't feel good. My car doesn't feel good. And feels a lot better now after doing a bunch of things. It still kind of feels kind of weird, but like it feels like the best it's ever felt. Um Overall. So I'm not complaining. Like I can make it work and it feels very good. But my what I told them, because I don't know car lingo, I said my brakes feel spongy, if that makes sense. Where and that's what they wrote, and I was like, oh god, don't write that. Like now I look stupid because they have to like put like what the customer said to and so I take it at a place. I take it at a Car X, and they're very nice. Oh, I have some posters I need if you, by the way, if you want them. They're Transformers posters from the newest movie.
ooh,
But I guess they were giving them away if you bought stuff from them. I think it has something having to do with car stuff on the bottom, but it is just the Rise of Beasts posters essentially. So I have 2 of those if you want them because they gave them to me.
neat.
Um, but yeah, they're here, and so turns out, yeah, my back brakes were bad, like very bad. I've never heard any squeaking or anything, or like any sort of loud noises, so I didn't know that like my brake pads were awful. And then I also had to change some other like cylinders and stuff in the front, and then I had to go back as well because there was an issue with a low, what was it, low oil pressure after they did an oil change, and I was like, that's not right. And then they look at it and they're like, I don't know what it is. And I was like, I think it's probably the sensor. And then they're like, hey, I think it's the sensor. I was like, really? I just told you that. And so I had to spend another like 100 some odd, 200 some odd, like for a sensor essentially. But yeah, so now I have a working car after $1,200 or so, down the drain. But I got schooled by the guy, very very nice man over there. Shout out to Mark, that was his name. Yeah, Mark, over there at CarX. But he taught me a bunch because he's very knowledgeable, and he's like, I have to tell you this stuff. Give not. He's very very nice about it, but basically like, here, I need to give you some advice essentially, and get the best out of my car. And he's like, hey, you need to drive this more than what you've been driving it. Drive it at least for like an hour total, maybe an hour like every other week. Like just like go on a long drive and come back. So yeah, I've been driving my car a lot more now, and I don't like it because I hate driving. I hate it. Like, man, I it's not fun. I don't like being around people in a car. I'd much rather someone else take the control of the wheel. I don't I don't like it. And after having like eye surgery and stuff, I definitely don't like it because like I'm more sensitive to like lights, like my astigmatism, that kind of stuff at night. But then also I'm just sensitive to the sun, and so
Yeah.
like it's not a fun time. I can see fine enough because of my glasses and all that, but yeah. So I've had to spend a lot of money the past week or so, and so I justified that purchase of like, oh man, had a bad week. You know what? Time to buy $120 worth of dot hack cards. So why not? Because again, like
Why not?
if I'm buying like 6 or 7 of these, I might as well just buy all 11. Like
Yeah.
that was my sense. So I'm gonna have fun opening these up eventually, and probably do it on stream. I also have some other cards that I haven't opened up yet, but I have some Vice Shorts. Yeah, Blau, Vice Shorts Blau. I don't know what that is necessarily, but they're Detective Conan Vice Shorts cards. They look like they're part of a movie, maybe, but it has everyone on there: Shinichi, Kaito Kid, all that kind of stuff on here. But it looks like there's barely any cards here. Honestly, it feels like there's just like 2 cards in there. But they're Japanese. So we'll see. I hope that we get Detective Conan cards here for the real game, or like the US version sometime. But yeah. Oh yeah, I also bought a lot of, or I didn't buy a lot of. I bought some Digimon cards because a new set came out over the weekend. So I bought like 4 packs. Got some cool things. There's a lot of alternate forms. I think it's what it's called. Alternative form is like the pack. So like there's like uh the black versions, like or yeah, so like the virus version. So like there's like the dark Agumon, um or like the blue version of Greymon, which is a virus instead of vaccine, I want to say, like that kind of stuff. Or there's just like different types of super evolutions, but yeah, I don't know. I have a lot of other things I could talk about, but let's just throw it to you.
Well, I took advantage of GameStop had a buy one get one free, recently.
Mhm.
So with that, I got a couple of good games here. I got this one here, which I've been playing and it's been pretty fun. Um,
Where did you? What story did you start with first?
Obviously, I started with the uh, the Chinese kung fu master, who I named Ip Man. Uh,
Okay.
that's where I started because I was like, if I'm gonna do one, I want to do one that I'm really gonna get into. Um, so I started with that one. It's been pretty fun so far. I haven't seen a major difficulty yet, but I know it ramps up.
So I streamed that game when it came out. I don't know if you remember that.
I remember that. Yeah.
I played the ninja one. That one is one of the hardest ones. But the thing is, I really liked about it. Again, to go with Detective Conan, it was that the character designer for that was the guy who created Detective Conan for that
Okay.
particular part. And so I didn't know that until I was playing. I was like, "Oh, this is awesome!" And then I kept playing, I kept trying, and I was so bad at it because like they really want you to be stealthy, and then because you're stealthy, you don't have a lot of exp or like
Right.
any sort of levels, so you kind of just like I don't know. It was just very very difficult for me because I didn't understand it. So instead, I did the cowboy one, and I really really liked that one, and I finished that one for sure. But no, those were the only two I played, and then I stopped playing it. But
Well, I've been going back and forth with it, but I got that. I also got Monster Boy.
mm,
I got this version of it. If I can get my camera.
okay.
I'm really, really liking this one. I'm kind of stuck at the moment, but I'll get there. And I'm trying to think of the other one I got. The other one I got was this here. I got Death's Door Ultimate Edition.
Hmm.
Okay, so here's the crazy thing. I bought 4 games and out of pocket spent $115 is what my total was.
Wow.
Um, and everything was new except for the 2 Switch games. They were new, but they weren't like opening. This one's brand spanking new. I
Hmm.
played a little bit of this on Xbox, but I'm like, I really want to play this on PS5.
Yeah.
So those are the ones I kind of got from that. Also, in the last couple weeks, I got Cult of the Lamb Deluxe Edition. I have yet to play this, um, but I love the idea of it, and it looks pretty fun.
Hmm.
So this one was actually on sale there. I have the only ones I've played are the 2 Switch games. I haven't touched anything else. Um, and then in my impulse buying that I like to do and whatnot, um, I came up with some Nintendo powers.
Oh, nice.
So I got the Battletoads one and this one, volume 25.
Awesome.
I way overpaid for these, just so you
Yeah.
know. And then I got the Street Fighter one, and this one is volume 38. Um, Going through those and reading those are so much nostalgic. It just brings back those memories of going to a friend's house that was
Yeah.
able to get Nintendo Power because I never did.
I got these recently. I don't know if I show them on the show, but they're PlayStation Magazine and EGM. Um,
Yeah,
Friend had brother, I guess, kept them forever because they're Kingdom Hearts related. So like these are like the first like Kingdom Hearts 2 showings and all that. So like there's big just I don't know, just big articles about like here's what Kingdom Hearts 2 is, and like it shows like the Japanese footage because they didn't have the English footage yet. But like yeah, no, it's a blast from the past reading some of these.
oh
Like
yeah.
it's really cool to see like oh, they gave this score and like I don't know, there's just a lot of personality in this that I kind of miss from like IG like old IGN.
Look at this.
Um yeah.
It's got an ad for the it's a 4-wheel drive. It's the 4 score and the satellite on the back here. Uh it's super cool. I bought these, I'm like, because I don't want to collect them because they do get pricey.
Yeah.
I mean, here's this one here on the back. As I'm showing, it's got one that's got the Game Boy, Super Nintendo, and then the Challenge NES set with that came with Super Mario 3.
Mhm.
I don't know what I'm gonna do with those yet.
Frame
I
them.
will I will probably keep them for a while. and then at some point maybe sell them. I mean, I just don't know.
The
This
problem,
guy was. Oh, go ahead.
yeah, well, the problem with magazines, like, it's really cool that they seem to be in really good condition, but like the problem with magazines, unless like it has a really good like main article or the cover is really good, like the Battletoads one might get you something from that. Like you're not, they're probably not worth a whole lot unless you have like a bigger collection of them. Like I don't know,
Oh,
I just don't think so. Like it depends though.
yeah, and I that's what's crazy is they had some that went up really high in price.
Hmm.
There was a Mega Man one.
Yeah,
I
I'm
try
sure.
to get ones that were in NES. The
Hmm.
Super Nintendo one, it had Guile on the front, um, but it's got everything for Battletoads. It's got the entire map in there, from start to finish.
That's awesome.
So, so, um, it's just crazy that it's like got everything in there.
Hmm.
But these ones here, I just had to have, you know.
Yeah.
Um, but he was selling like a ton of them,
Hmm.
and then some got to the point where they were like 80, $90, and I was like, no, thank you. But that's all he was selling was he was selling legitimately all of the Nintendo powers, and he didn't have like the number one though. That
Wow.
one's expensive, but these are in really good shape. There's a couple little marks on the one,
Hmm.
and I've got them in plastic now, but I will probably get them on cardboard at some
Hmm.
point. Um, but again, I don't want to start collecting them because that's an expensive hobby. It's kind of like NES in the box. You just can't. Once you start getting them in the box, that level of price goes up, and I don't want to do it. So
Oh yeah, I completely agree. I can't find it right now because I don't know where it's at. Maybe it's in the other room. But I forgot. I also bought a what was it, Tales of the Abyss soundtrack from somewhere in Indy. It was a 4 disc set for only $15. So
really,
yeah, and it was in very good condition, jewel case and all, and had like the manual thing in it for the songs, and then all 4 discs look amazing. Um, but yeah, do you have anything else to show off, or is that?
no, that's pretty much it. Um, and then if you want, I could just jump into what I've been watching and playing. It's pretty
Yeah,
short.
yeah. Just go ahead.
Uh, yeah, so I was watching Justified,
Hmm.
um, pretty much religiously. I've been watching it,
Hmm.
and I'm up to season 3 now. For playing, obviously, Halo just came out with their new map pack, and so the Infected's really fun.
Hmm.
I'm already level 30 out of 100.
Of course you are.
Yeah, but it's super fun. So basically, you start off um, in big teams, and the goal is either you start as the one non-infected just to kill the
Hmm.
infected, or to infect everybody else. And the infected come with a red energy sword, and that's it.
Hmm.
And so it's it's pretty fun the way it goes because they've opened up old maps, they've opened up like new areas in old maps, um, and then they've opened some brand new net maps. So it's been pretty fun. It really gets fun when it's just you're the only one left
Hmm.
and you've got like 15 or 20 other people coming at you. Now, granted, they're like usually one or two shots with something big, right?
Yeah.
They're not like they don't have armor or anything like that. So, but it's crazy. It's super fast paced. Um, so it's that's been pretty fun. I've been playing a lot of that. So, and then that's been pretty much what I've been playing. I did pop in Crisis Core this weekend to kind of get that finished
Hmm.
and move that up. But other than that, that's what I've been playing. Only because it's been easier just to come in my office and play Halo. So, what about you?
Yeah. Did we? I'm trying to think of what I've actually been playing and what we've talked about, what we haven't talked about. I guess I'll say it on here. I don't remember if I did. I have Street Fighter 6. I in the past couple weeks I've maybe played a tiny bit. Still, and I played online with someone, and that was really awesome because I think they were playing on PC. and I was playing on PS5, and we both have like a wired connection and everything. And since it's crossplay, and you use the Capcom Battle whatever online stuff, it was awesome and virtually no lag, and it has the rollback netcode and all of that, and it felt great. I really like that game a lot. I just haven't had an opportunity really to play a whole lot of it. Um, but yeah, I did some of that. We're gonna talk about it here in the direct in a second, since we did have some stealth releases. But I did buy Pikmin 1 and 2 on Switch, and
Okay.
I've been playing Pikmin 2 specifically. I really just wanted to buy Pikmin 2, but it was $50 for all of it for those two games instead of 34 each if you bought them separately. So I was like, yeah, I'll probably play the first one again at some point. I don't really have a good way of playing that except my GameCube. So if I ever want to stream it or something, I would rather have like the Switch version. I don't have Pikmin 3 yet. Like I played Pikmin 3 um on Wii U when it came out, and I really really liked it then. But Pikmin's one of those weird things where I really enjoy it for a certain amount of time, but I just never think about it again. Pikmin 2 is
Yeah.
a little bit different though, because I never owned Pikmin 2. So I really just wanted to finally like go through this and try to beat it fully and just have fun with it. And I'm having a blast. I really like Pikmin 2 a lot. That was one of the games I just like rented a lot or borrowed from a friend. It just has better mechanics. There's no more time limit really, so you can just kind of just waste your some of your days if you really want to. Um, like you can just like waste a day to just get more Pikmin and stuff instead of like actually getting treasure. But yeah, no, Pikmin 2 is awesome. I'm really liking that. I kind of stopped playing Tears of the Kingdom just because I got stuck on the final boss, and then at a certain point I was like, I don't care anymore. I'll try it later. And because I'm not low leveled, I guess. I probably need more hearts in my opinion, because I'm not good at the parrying stuff. And so I'll have to just go in and do it again at some point, maybe with better or I guess not better weapons, since I have the master sword. It's required essentially. Um but I'm trying to think of anything else that I've really been playing. Oh, I guess I played a little bit of RGG. Yeah, Like a Dragon. Played a tiny bit of that because the RGG summit happened. Was that last week?
I think it was last week. Yeah.
Yeah, so I watched that, and that was a waste of time, in my opinion. But but yeah, no, I was watching it, and I was like, I should play some eight, or wait, no, not eight, seven. Yeah, yeah, seven. Like a Dragon is seven. So I was like, yeah, I should probably play some of this. And I was enjoying my time while watching the little thing on my phone and just playing on my TV. Um, but then I haven't thought of it really since, as evidence of like me just randomly remembering, oh yeah, that was a thing. Um, I don't know. I'll probably try to pick that up again at some point. I really should beat it, because then I can play Judgment and Lost Judgment and all that stuff, because I really, from what I played at Judgment, I really really liked it. It's just I was playing on the PS4 version, and that's built on the Dragon engine that like Kiwami 2 uses. And the problem with the PS4 version, same thing with Kiwami 2, is that it's 30 frames, and so like it just feels really off and weird. But the PS5 version should be 60 frames for both of them. So I'm looking forward to that because they're just sitting over there. I still haven't touched Ishin in a while either. Like, there's so many Ryoga Gotoku games that I have. Like, I even have some for, I think I have like Kenzan maybe or something, like the Japanese PS3 game. I have Dead Souls over here, which is, I don't know if you've heard of that one. That's the one that's, is it like Dead Rising maybe? Like,
Okay.
it's set in like a post-apocalyptic version of Kamurocho, and it came out here in America, and It's an expensive game. I bought it a few years ago for like $60, and that was before I even beat the series or like even beat up to 6. Um, and like yeah, it's like a Dead Rising, Dawn of the Dead type thing where you play as all the characters with like guns, I believe, and like just shooting zombies. And
Nice.
yeah, so I'll probably touch that again at some point. But like yeah, I not much happening over here. There's intentions. Like I intend to play maybe Xenoblade 2 or something like that, because I feel like I should just get back into that game. Otherwise, that's going to be another game that I forget about. Oh, I was playing some original Final Fantasy 7. Um,
Nice.
I I was playing. Let's see. I got off the ship um where Sephiroth was supposedly there, but it wasn't Sephiroth. He like flew out, and then you fought like a Genova thing. And then we got onto the Gold Saucer and did some Gold Saucer thing. Kate Sith or Katsi, or however you say it. He's chilling with us, and then we got kicked off of the Gold Saucer. So now we're dealing with Barrett's story about like how um his whole issue with his past town, about how they all hate him for certain reasons. But yeah, no, that game's awesome. Like original Final Fantasy 7 does a really good job of storytelling, and like every time I play just a little bit of it, I'm always amazed by how well it portrays emotion and character dialogue and depth and everything for being this like these chibi little guys. Um,
Yeah.
like even with I don't know, like there's a difference between looking at 7 and looking at like 5 and 4, 5 and 6. 4, 5 and 6, they're all pixelated, and so you kind of like if you're reading and watching that, like you can still invoke it can still invoke certain things, like certain things can happen or whatever, and you can feel those feelings. 7 has a weird thing of where, because like in the actual gameplay they look different than what they are on the on the overworld, and so because of that, like they really have to make you believe more, in my opinion, of how like they look too weird and cartoony. Like if I was just looking at a sprite, I'd be like, oh yeah, that's the sprite of Terra. But then when I see Cloud, and he's chunky Cloud over here versus like normal Cloud in the fights, like you have to give me some depth. Otherwise, I'm not gonna believe like this Lego man is feeling these feelings, and they do it. It always surprises me every time. But yeah, I started doing that when we saw stuff at the Summer Games Fest again, because I've been stuck, or not stuck. I've stopped at that boat for quite a
Yeah.
while, and so I was like, yeah, I need to go through this, go to whatever that place is, del Sol, whatever the resort town is, and then Gold Saucer and all that. So yeah, I'm looking forward to probably playing some of that more tonight if I don't fall asleep. As far as watching, I started again I Think You Should Leave by Tim Robinson or whatever. You know, the
Yes.
comedy thing, because I keep seeing the TikToks, like the memes, because they are doing it for the Zelda glitching thing. They're like, "Wait, no, stop! I need to do this." Um, but I kept seeing so many of those, and so
I keep seeing the one where he's like, "Are you sure about that?"
yeah, you sure about that? You sure
That
about?
show that show has so many Tim and Eric vibes. It's not even funny.
Yeah,
I mean,
yeah,
it literally does. It's like Tim and Eric, awesome show, great job.
yeah, exactly. But like, it's for the crazy thing is like Tim and Eric was stuck on Adult Swim, whereas this is on Netflix and everyone's watching it. Like that's awesome. Like imagine if Tim and Eric had a show on Netflix. Like that's what this is. That'd be awesome for them, because then they would get more viewership and all that. But yeah, no, I still have Netflix because this Netflix still thinks that we're okay. It yells at my sister, but this Netflix here is like, no, you're fine.
I
It
mean,
works at my house.
I've had no warnings, and my parents use it, and they've had no warnings. So maybe they're just picking and choosing right now.
Maybe, but it's weird though, because like it's the same account, and my sister got yelled at somewhere. I think it's because she was trying to actually log in, whereas I've stayed logged in.
Yeah.
So I think that might be the thing. But but yeah, no, I'm like, cool. I still have Netflix. All right, cool. I'll finish what was it? Never Have I Ever. I finished that show. Awesome. Great. I love it. Good candy there. And then yeah, I Think You Should Leave is great. I apparently tried watching I Think You Should Leave once when it first came out. I just couldn't get into it. But like now that I know like really what it is, I'm like 4 episodes into the first season, and I something I just have on the background because not every sketch hits, but like
No.
but when they do, like there's there's the one like it's very early that I've now been seeing memes about it on TikTok. I'm like, oh, that's where that comes from, where he tells like the waiter to tell his girlfriend that there's a rule about uh you can't hog all the nachos to yourself. The restaurant has a rule that you can't hog the meat and cheese and stuff, and then your other person's left with just chips. And so he makes the waiter do it. He's like, did he make you do that? Yes. What? And it's like, yeah, you've been lying to me this whole time. What? He just keeps going. He's just in such denial, like, I wouldn't do that to you. What? I just keep seeing so many TikToks of that now. I'm like, oh, I
I keep seeing
understand it.
I keep seeing the one where he was trying to leave, and it was a push, and he was pulling. He's
Yeah.
like, "No, I got it.
That's the
I got
very
it."
first episode. That's the first sketch you see.
Yeah, and that's what reminds me of like Tim and Eric, awesome show, great job.
Just the
Which
sweating, the drool.
I actually went back and watched Tom Goes to the Mayor
Oh, I love that show.
and Tim and Eric, awesome show, great job. I went back and watched those before they left HBO.
Mm-hmm.
Which it's weird though because kind of a tangent here. I noticed on Hulu some of the shows that are on Disney right now are showing up on there, like that. What is it? That American Asian show that's on Disney right now, Disney Plus.
Oh yeah.
It's on Hulu now.
Oh, that's weird.
Yeah, but it's still on Disney Plus.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, I don't know.
Yeah.
I think they're trying to move it over, but they and when I'm out, if I ever see like the DVDs or Blu-rays for um, anything Tim and Eric, I will buy it just because you just don't get them anymore. You know,
Yeah.
no one has them.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, if I ever find those, I'll let you know. I'm sure I'm
Oh
sure
yeah,
I've come across them at some point, but yeah. But yeah, we've tangent enough for about 40 minutes. um but like I thought that just having the one actual news story here, Nintendo Direct, is big enough that where we could just talk about it on its own.
also IGN has it now where you can put it's a list now. It's just a physical list.
Really?
Yeah. So when you're looking, another tangent, even though it says Nintendo Direct, it says see all right here as you go down and you click on it. It's literally all the other crap's gone. It's just a list of the games.
Oh, interesting.
I know it's so much better than like 5,000 ads and like stuff they're writing about that we don't really care about.
Yeah.
But yeah,
Okay.
it's not in order, but at least it's all there.
Yeah, for sure. All right. So I guess we'll go ahead and go over here. Let's see. I guess that does mess me up though, because I'm the way I have it shown off. Let's try this. Hang on. There we go. Okay. All right. So yeah, I guess I'll just do it like this. It'd be easier. So again, these are not in order per se. But I personally did not watch the direct when it happened. I watched it later. I saw a bunch of
Yeah,
highlights
so
on
did I.
Twitter. I was too busy with my class thing for work, and yeah. So again, we're just gonna go in this order because IGN hates us and they like the clicks, I guess. So the first thing that they go over, which is the very last thing that they go over in the actual direct, is Super Mario Bros. Wonder. Super Mario Bros. Wonder is the new Mario game. It is the new. I don't like saying new because new Super Mario Bros. Like that is an actual term. It is the new Super Mario Bros. I love the art style.
Oh yeah.
It's very colorful. It reminds me a lot of the bad Yoshi's Island game from the 3DS, but it doesn't have bad music, at least yet. Um, I think it's really cool how you can play as Daisy. I think that's awesome.
Yeah, I noticed that.
So yeah, you got Peach, you got Luigi, Mario, Daisy, and Toad. No Rosalina, interesting enough, at least yet. Um, but yeah, it's interesting. Like you're grabbing these. I don't know what they're called. Wonder bars. I don't know. You're grabbing something, some sort of wonder flower maybe, and that causes the world to get all trippy and weird. It's like Mario is actually on shrooms for once, is what people keep
I know,
saying.
right?
And so like when that happens, like the pipe turns into a worm, or like I don't know, just the environment changes and gets all weird and trippy. Um, and then at the end of the trailer, they show him turn into an elephant, and he says, "Wowie zowie." Um, so yeah, I don't know what that means. I don't know what wowie zowie means. I don't know what turning to an elephant means per se, as far as what does that do in gameplay. But he's a big elephant boy, and yeah, I really again with the art style, they show him go into a pipe. They show Mario go into a pipe, and he has like it kind of reminds me of Rayman as well, like Rayman Origins, Rayman Legends art style as well. It's very expressive on the face. He's no
Yeah.
longer just stupid. I mean, I guess I could end that sentence there. It's stupid. He's no longer stupid. Like he actually has a face there, and it's expressing some sort of emotion. Like he like has like a kind of like a frown or a frustrated look because he's running fast. And then
Yeah.
when he goes to the pipe, he forgets his hat, so he has to like pull it and grab it, and then he looks out the pipe, and then he goes out the pipe. Like there's a lot of cool animation frames and stuff in this, and they really a lot of attention to detail for something that could have been not super great. You could just do good levels, but to
Right.
actually make the game look great too, I think that's awesome.
Well, and I think this goes also, you know, with other talks that have happened this week that we won't get into really. Um, they're getting everything out now. Like, so this one comes out October 20th this year. So I think you actually called at one point that they have one more Mario game they're working on,
Yeah,
and so there it is. But they're just kind of like I feel like watching this because I watched it afterwards as well. They're tailing off on like getting all this stuff out now to clear out the next year or so because by next year they're going to be talking about their new system. So,
yeah,
but I did love this one. It was something different.
yeah.
Um, I will say it again. You can never really go wrong with a new Mario game. And I know it's like side scrolling Mario 2D, with some new features, but it doesn't matter. It's still a new Mario game. So,
Yeah, but they actually did something different for once.
yeah.
Like for New Super Mario Bros. Was really cool aesthetically because it was the very first one to do that for like DS. But then it just kept going, and then it just kept going, and like we just got new powers here or there. Um, and then this one actually coming out and being so radically different, but still a platformer. Uh, I think it's gonna be great. I hope it's great. If it's not, I don't know.
I think it'll be good.
I think so. You know, what else is gonna be good? Super Mario RPG. Um, there was a rumor about this before the direct that there was a Super Mario RPG remake or some sort of Square Enix remake, and people thought this or Chrono Trigger, and I would have rather had Chrono Trigger. However, Super Mario RPG I think is awesome to see here. Explains why it's not on the Nintendo Switch Online just yet, because they want you to buy this game instead. Um, but I'm sure it'll come out on Nintendo Switch Online like maybe a few months after this one comes out.
Right.
But yeah, it looks awesome. Looks very faithful. I really like the art style. It's very cartoony. The trailer started off as the original opening for Mario RPG on Super Nintendo, and then a star appears or some sort of light appears, and then all of a sudden it's all CG and fancy looking with Peach, and then you got like short Peach, short Mario, and all that. So like they're all like tiny, like chibi forms. Um, but yeah, there's a lot of cutscenes in this, it seems, and
Yeah.
they showed a lot of bosses and characters, which I was really happy about. We got to see Booster, which I'm really happy. I really like Booster. Booster is like a Viking Wario essentially, and he lives up in Booster Tower, and we saw a little bit of him from his back, I guess. Because there was like a little scene of that. But yeah, I was really happy to see him because I feel like Nintendo has kind of like forgot about that guy. But like, yeah, no, there's Mallow. We talked about before the show, like Gino's in it because like I believe Gino is owned by Square, so like it probably took a while for this thing to kind of happen. Um, but it looks awesome. I'm very happy for those who like this game. I don't like this game a whole lot, to be honest. I think it has a lot of charm here and there, but there are other RPGs in this time, um, at the time that this originally came out, that I would much prefer. Now, this um, this version of it though looks really good. Like I'm probably gonna pick this up at some point.
Yeah.
And I used to own the Super Nintendo cartridge, and I sold it because I was like, I don't like this game. I kind of regret selling it, but it doesn't matter. Yeah. So Super Mario RPG. Do you have any touchstones to this? Have you ever played it before?
Uh,
How far
I,
have you
I
gone?
think I've got a little bit into it,
Mm-hmm.
but what I was telling Alex before the show is Amazon's already taken reservations for these games.
Mm-hmm.
These both, this one and Wonder. But I think it's kind of funny that Wonder comes out in October, this comes out in November, um, really setting up the holiday season. Because as we go through this list, there are quite a few that come out this year. So
Yeah.
there's a couple that didn't show a lot, but there was quite a few that they did show that come out this year. Um, but yeah, like I thought that was like those two where I feel like were two of the bigger ones of the show.
Yeah, I agree. I think we might talk about it here in a little bit, but I think there's another game. I think Persona 5 Tactica also comes out on the same day as RPG. So
Is
like,
it really?
yeah, so that's not gonna be great for that game. Um, I think our Mario RPG will eat the competition there. But yeah, no, I'm fairly excited for it. The new visuals and everything look great. I think it'd be a fun game to stream or something like that.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Um, the next game that they show is WarioWare Move It. So we got a new motion control WarioWare. And WarioWare Shake It, I think was no, not WarioWare Shake It.
Oh,
That's a platformer.
yeah, it is.
Smooth Moves.
Yes.
Yeah, Smooth Moves is the Wii game where it's like very much a movement based game. Um, so yeah, we're getting that for Switch essentially. It looks fun. Like I really like WarioWare. It's cool that we got two WarioWares on the Switch. We got one that was more experimental, but also the older WarioWares that we used to like, and then now we have one of the movement ones too. So you get the best of both worlds there.
Yeah, absolutely. And and as we go through this, that was another one I was like, I didn't see it coming. but I was like, I mean, that's one that I think is gonna sell well.
Oh, for sure.
You know,
Like,
I feel that's like their big. Besides Zelda, so far they've already announced like some of their big, their bigger titles. You know what I mean?
honestly, what they should have done when the Switch came out, like I understand why. Like 1-2 Switch existed. Should just made a WarioWare game.
Yeah, and that comes out November 6th, by the way.
WarioWare, okay, cool, because I don't see the things here that I'm showing off.
Yeah,
All right, cool. So the next one that we'll talk about here is Detective Pikachu Returns. It's kind of weird that we're not seeing Detective Pikachu the first one at all, because that game's stuck on 3DS. So maybe we'll see it closer to the release of Returns. But yeah, it's Detective Pikachu. It's I think it's Kaiji Tang is the voice actor Pikachu. So like it's a very it's not Ryan Reynolds. But
okay.
it's a more gruffer Pikachu. Like I know originally people wanted for the movie Danny DeVito to voice Pikachu. Because it's like he's like a gruffer I don't know, New York accent type detective maybe.
That
So
actually be pretty funny.
like that's kind of like what they wanted. But yeah, I forget exactly how Pikachu talks per se, but like he is like more of like a detective, deeper voiced Pikachu. Um, I never played the first one, so I don't know what to say about this one. It looks really fun from what I've seen. If they release the first one on Switch, then I'll get this, but otherwise, I probably won't because I like to play things in order, and that's just a me thing. Um,
October 6th for that one.
Alrighty. Speaking of things that are stuck on 3DS, Luigi's Mansion Dark Moon. This is the second Luigi's Mansion game. It came out on 3DS, and it's a great game. It's very drop in, drop out. You go 2 levels, you do the level, you leave. It's not like 1 and 3 where you are in an actual mansion that you explore. Um, it's a level select game with different missions for each level, and it's very fun. I really like that game a lot. It's been a long time since I played it because it was. I don't think it was a launch. It definitely wasn't a launch title of the 3DS, but it was earlier in the release. I want to say like maybe like 2 to 3 years, maybe into 3DS. I could be wrong, but it felt like that. So who knows?
Yeah, I mean, I remember my kids playing that on their DSs.
Mm-hmm.
So it's been a bit. And there was no date on that. They just said coming soon.
Okay. Yeah, who knows then? Um, I know for Luigi, they tried to schedule things in October, so maybe we'll get a Halloween release closer. We talked about earlier. Pikmin 1 and 2 are available now. Um,
Yep.
you can download those now. Pikmin 1 and 2 are awesome games. Pikmin 4 comes out soon. I guess we're gonna talk about that later. But yeah, Pikmin 4 comes out soon, so they wanted to get all the Pikmin on the Switch. So yeah. The direct started off with Pokemon Scarlet and Violet DLC, so there's 2 of them. I don't really want to go into too much detail of them, mostly because I forget what they are. um, I know one of them's like in like a countryside town during a festival, and then the other one's in like an academy where it's biodome, and like they have different um seasons, like it's in quadrants or whatever. Like there's like the ice section, there's the water section and all that kind
Yeah.
of stuff. um so yeah, Pauly Shore is not in this DLC, unfortunately. um
I mean, he kind of needs the work though. So
he does, he really
I mean, maybe
does.
he'll do Son-in-Law 2 or Encino Man 2.
Encino
Uh,
Man 2.
I
uh
he has just to throw that out there, he has a movie that came out not too long ago called God, what is it? Pool House, maybe, where these people buy the house, and it's the only thing is they buy the house, they have to take him in, and he lives in the pool house, and the trailer is just awful. It's like Pauly Shore from back in the '90s, but he's not. that age anymore, so it doesn't really hit the same.
Yeah.
It's
I know
awful.
what you mean. Next thing to talk about is Sonic Superstars, which I believe is September. I could be wrong. Sonic Superstars. We already saw this at the Jeff Keighley thing, but
Yep.
yeah, they just showed a little bit more. Palia is a farming sim type game, I want to say. I don't remember much about it. But yeah, Palia is a thing. Persona 5 Tactica. Persona 5 Tactics. I'm not gonna play it. I don't think it looks good.
I mean, it does come out on the same day as Mario RPG.
Yeah,
by
so
the way,
exactly. No one's gonna buy the Persona 5. Scratch that. Scratch that. If he's listening, Zach is the only one who's gonna buy Persona 5. Because earlier he was talking about it in our Discord, which you can join if you click on the links and inside any of the things for Get At Gaming Discord. It's fun. You should join it, hang out, talk about games. But yeah, it does not appeal to me at all. Etrian Odyssey game, like the Q things appeal more to me than this tactics game. I just don't like the art style of this. They look like those weird Q Pocket
they do.
Figure things, because like like there's like chibi figures and there's pop figures and Nendoroids, and then there's this thing called Q Pocket where like they look very shoujo-esque, like they have like very I don't know what to say, like very sparkly big eyes and like baby faces and stuff. I don't like that, and that's what this kind of looks like. It doesn't look like a chibi style. It looks like a lanky weird style. It is interesting though that the tactics in this look more akin to XCOM or Mario and Rabbids. So as far as a tactics gameplay from that might be pretty cool. But like, I'm not expecting great things from this, to be honest.
No. Well, and this isn't the first time we've seen it either. So
yeah. Myth Force. I don't remember that. I don't remember what this was.
It's a weird RPG that is drawn to look like 80s cartoons.
That's right. Yeah. Yeah, I forgot about this.
Yeah. I mean, I would be interested to see more gameplay of it.
Yeah, because I feel like it was mostly cutscenes, wasn't it?
Yeah. It looks like Dungeons and Dragons from the 80s. That's what it
Dungeons
really
and Dragons, like. He-Man.
Lord of the Rings. Definitely He-Man. It's got that, when it showed him running, it has that He-Man feel. Lord of the Rings, the animated ones. It felt like that as well. It was gross. It was different, but I definitely want to see more actual physical gameplay.
I agree.
And that's coming out this year as well. So far, pretty much most of these are coming out this year.
Yeah,
which is crazy.
I don't know why it shows this technically here. I think there's a new Splatfest for Splatoon 3, and I think that's why it shows it here like this. I don't care about that. The next thing they showed off was that there's a new Princess Peach game in development, and she's like on stage, and it looks like some weird platformer 3D, like I don't know, like Mario Land type platformer, but she's doing stuff on a stage. So that looks pretty cool. It's been a long time since we had a game starring Princess Peach.
Yeah, it's been a bit.
Yeah, there's no release date for that one, I know for a fact, but yeah, to go, because the last game we had was last and only game was Super Princess Peach, and that was on DS, and that was okay. I'm gonna guess 2008 for Super Princess Peach. Are you looking it up?
Of course.
Okay.
When did you say?
2008.
Wow, it was released in so it was released in 2006.
Oof.
2005 in October in Japan, and then worldwide the following year.
See, I was thinking 2006 next, but okay. I thought it was a later DS game, because like this 3DS came out in 2010, so that's why I was like, oh, it's only a couple years. But okay. I was close. That's close enough. Let's see. Batman Arkham Trilogy. It's coming out,
Yeah.
and it only has Arkham Asylum on the cartridge.
Yeah. So I wondered how they were going to do that because the last two are such big games. So, I mean, okay, the thought of taking Batman and running around Gotham, like not at your house was a cool idea. But then they're like, oh, just one's on the cart. You have to download the others. That's going to be a difficult thing to do, and also graphically, that last game is going to be very hard to play on a Switch.
I
The
wonder
last
how
game was
I wonder how it's gonna run because like Witcher, like we always talk about like how Witcher 3,
yeah,
like it's possible to make these games run. And they may not look good, but they run. So I'm wondering if they'll scale it back and make it actually run decently. I originally thought that the last game was gonna be like probably like a cloud game or something, but it's not.
yeah,
Um
yeah.
so
I
yeah,
mean,
being
I
a
don't know.
download makes sense.
I downloaded that the other day just because I felt nostalgic,
Yeah.
and I downloaded '89 Batman costume. So I've
Uh-huh.
literally been running around Gotham looking like Michael Keaton.
Uh-huh.
Uh, but in those fight scenes and doing the things, it's so fluent on a PS5,
Mhm.
PS4. It's gonna be difficult to do that on a Switch. I'm gonna throw it out there.
You just reminded me. I didn't talk about. I saw the Flash. I saw the Flash movie. It was really
So you,
good.
so you saw the Batman movie?
Hey now, hey now. It was mostly a Flash movie.
Did he steal any alcohol when he was in the movie? Did he just run into people's houses and steal alcohol?
Yeah, yeah.
Uh, Don't spoil it for me. Eventually, we'll watch it.
I love that movie. Like I thought it was awesome. It was a good. It was. It had amazing cameos. And it was a good like swan song for the end of the DC. The problem is that like it was. It's the last movie, and there should be more.
Yeah.
But
Well,
but yeah, no. You
thank him
you
for
just you just reminded me because Batman.
yes.
Um,
But for this year, I wonder what price tag they're gonna put it at. It's probably gonna be $60. I mean,
the trilogies and stuff, especially, I feel like it'd be more 60 if it had a bigger cartridge.
right.
So I depending on how big the cartridge is, I feel like this might be 40 or 50.
At
Because like
40,
you can find this on PSN for like $30 sometimes.
right. At $40, if these are the HD upgraded versions, I would buy it just to play Arkham Asylum on my Switch OLED because that would be fun. I mean, how much fun would it be to go around Arkham blaring, you know, Mark Hamill's Joker as you
Yeah.
hear those updates? I think that would be so cool. Uh, but again, we'll wait and see on this one. I don't know, man. I'm just afraid it's just not going to run well at all.
Yeah. Okay, I'm clicking on it right now. I'm checking the price. Um, there is no price yet. Yeah, there's no price on Nintendo right now for it.
Ooh, I'm I'm thinking it's going to be
I don't
$60.
think so. There's no way WB could do that. Although they could do it because it's Kevin Conroy and they could cash cow on that. That's sad to say, but they could. They will.
Mm, they
Um
will.
yeah. Next game is Gloomhaven. I don't care about it. I'm just gonna say that right now. It's a board game on a Switch. I don't
Yeah,
care.
that was kind of boring.
It looks cool, but I don't care. Just Dance is coming again. Um, Silent Hope is another thing that's coming out. I don't remember what that is. I think that was like another RPG, weird RPG thing. Yeah, it's
It
marvelous.
was.
That explains it. Fae Farm is another RPG, but more like a farming simulator RPG. Hot Wheels Unleashed 2 is coming out. That looks fun. I really like the first Hot Wheels Unleashed a lot.
On
Um,
Xbox, if you have Xbox, if you have Game Pass, they did the full version that has all of the DLC.
oh, really?
Yeah, and so I downloaded that the other day. So much fun because you have all the cars now. like
Interesting.
all the special cars, the DC pack, the
Okay.
villains pack, all the monster trucks, all the specialty
That's
cars.
crazy because the not Game Pass, the PlayStation Plus version was just the base game.
Yeah,
Huh.
yeah. So it's pretty. And I will tell you, man, like that game's super fun. You go through different cities, and you can earn like packs to open. Now, granted, you can buy more packs.
Hmm.
Um, but watching a trailer today for this one, it looked really good. I don't know that I want to. I mean, I think it'd be a fun Switch game just because it's portable.
Yeah.
But man, playing it on PS5 and Xbox Series X, it looks really, really good.
Yeah. I agree. Next one, I don't remember this. It looks like
I
a
don't
mobile
remember
game.
it. It does.
Manic Mechanics. Yeah. Mario Rabbids Sparks of Hope. That is the new DLC. For that. Was it Sparks Hunter or something?
Marks Hunter, yeah.
Yeah, I think Rayman's supposed to show up in that DLC. Um, but yeah, there's that. Dragon Quest Monsters is a new Dragon Quest Monsters game, which is pretty cool. We haven't seen Dragon Quest Monsters since I want to say DS.
It's been a bit.
And like those games are like on Game Boy and Game Boy Color for the longest time too. But Dragon Quest Monsters is essentially Pokemon Dragon Quest. Like that's what it is.
Yeah.
Um, let's see. Pikmin 4 we talked about earlier. Pikmin 4 comes out fairly soon. Is that July?
I want to say yes. Let me look here. No, June 28th. So
Oh, that's tomorrow.
yeah, the
Or
day
the
this comes out.
okay. I might buy Pikmin 4, everyone. Um, I haven't even bought Final Fantasy 16 because I'm like, I don't have time for that. I have time for
I
Pikmin.
haven't either. In my cart right now, I've got Street Fighter. I've got that because I want to get those bought
Yeah.
because the minute that they announce when Tekken's coming out, that I'm gonna buy it. It just looks.
Yeah.
I've been a big Tekken person for a while, so
Yeah. So I might buy Pikmin 4 because I think Pikmin 4 is supposed to be a $60 game. So I guess I might buy that on the day this is releases. We'll see. Um. All right. The next thing is Metal Gear. Whoa! Accidentally pulled that. Am I fine? Yeah, I'm fine. Accidentally pulled the
oh, you're
cable.
fine.
Let's see. Metal Gear Solid HD Master Collection comes out. It has Metal Gear Solid 1, 2, and 3. It also has Metal Gear, Snake's Revenge, and Metal Gear 2. So like the NES ports, as well as the Commodore. Is it Commodore or no MSX? MSX.
MXX. That now my question is that going to be on all versions or just the Switch version?
All versions. They already announced it.
Okay, good. Because to be honest, I want to play Metal Gear on my PS5.
I
I've
think
never finished
Metal
Metal
Gear is gonna be really good on Switch though. Like the old ones, I think that feel really good.
Oh yeah, yeah.
I have Metal Gear on PS3. I have the Legacy collection, so I had to download the original Metal Gear Solid game, and then I also one of the discs like has the MSX versions and stuff too, all for PS3. Like it was like the big collection. It came with all the games 1 through 4. Um, yeah, I still have it somewhere, but like
Well, I'm
it's
listening
awesome.
to and kind of like a side note, listening to um kind of funny's PlayStation podcast today. There it is.
Okay.
Greg was talking that he's already seen what's on volume 2.
Yeah,
And so I don't know how, but he was is rumored you know, 4, 5, and then one more was gonna be on that.
a Peace Walker.
Yeah. And so he was super excited about it. Um, I think these games should have come to this a long time ago. And I mean, because we are gonna get Snake Eater here at some point,
Yeah,
um,
Delta.
redone. But being able to play Metal Gear Solid again, because I remember when that came out, everyone was playing it. Everyone was like, "Oh my gosh, this is like the best game ever." I got 40% into it. And that's about it.
How far? How petty do you think Konami is gonna be in these ports. Like, what do you think's going to be different? Because this is the first time that these games are releasing without Hideo Kojima. Like, his name isn't on the boxes anymore, like a Hideo
No,
Kojima game, like Kojima game, anything like that. Like, is he even in the credits? Like, I wonder if he's even
he would
there.
have to. He would have to.
I don't know. They
It's
own
petty.
it.
They do, but he was.
Was he in the credits for 5? I don't
I've
know.
to be honest, the last one I played was the last Metal Gear that came out, and it wasn't him. It was just straight Konami, where you're in the desert on the horse and stuff like that.
Yeah, that's the one I'm talking about. Yeah.
And I didn't get very far into it. Like you,
It's very different.
it is, and you can't always just run in. You know,
Yeah.
like you have to survey the area and you have to be smart. I know in Metal Gear Solid, like the biggest thing is like, knocking somebody out, putting him in a locker,
Hmm.
hiding under a box. You know, so I don't know. I will own this, but I don't know that I'll buy it for Switch.
Yeah.
I mean, I'll probably buy it on PS5,
Hmm.
or who knows? It might be on Game Pass, which would be awesome.
It's true.
Playing that on my PC, that
Play
would
it
be so.
play on Game Pass and PC, and then maybe get a Switch copy for why not?
Yeah, why not?
Buy at least one. Vampire Survivors was next. That's Vampire Survivors, very popular PC game that's out on everything. Headbanger, Rhythm Royale, which was a weird. You remember that Mario Party game where you're supposed to like do stuff to the rhythm and then like not
Yep.
face the same way or whatever. That's what Headbangers is, except it's a battle royale. Penny's Big Breakaway is a um 3D platformer type thing, maybe 2.5D. It's made by the people who did Sonic Mania.
Yeah, I
So
did see that.
yeah, that's gonna be pretty cool. Keep an eye out for that. There's more Mario Kart 8 Deluxe news for more booster courses and more characters. I think it was like PD Piranha and someone else. And then they showed more Star Ocean. Star Ocean Second Story R was shown off, and there's like a big old collector's edition for that. But yeah, that was pretty much the Nintendo Direct. I don't think it forgot anything necessarily.
No, I thought
Um,
it was pretty. I thought it was pretty good. I mean, to be honest, um,
yeah,
show. Excuse me. I think it was pretty well done. I feel like you know, at this point, everyone is just throwing it in Sony's face. You know, because Xbox's was pretty decent, and now Nintendo's was pretty decent, and then the Summer Game Fest was really good. Um, and here they are with nothing to show. Now, though, granted, they'll do something again here in the fall, hopefully. But I thought this was pretty good, and then they announced a ton of stuff that's coming out around holidays. I mean, a good
yeah.
percentage of this stuff was coming out this year.
Mm-hmm.
Peach wasn't, and then Luigi wasn't, but I could still see them releasing Luigi in October and
Yeah.
just being like, "Oh, hey, guess what? Luigi's coming out."
Mm-hmm.
Because Peach they didn't show a lot, so I don't know when that would be, but they know this holiday they're going to sell a ton of Switches,
Mm-hmm.
and Switch Lights. I mean, hell, I bought 2 of the Switch Lights last year. So I think overall it was pretty good. They showed a lot of stuff that's just them. I mean, obviously Sonic is going to probably be on other systems. You know, the Batman thing was pretty cool. Even though then you find out later it's like, oh, about that.
Yeah.
I thought the Dragon Quest Monsters was something that I remember from a long time ago, and that they're coming back with it is pretty cool.
Mm-hmm.
And I like the Star Ocean thing because I thought that was a really cool thing.
I really like the art style where like it's kind of HD 2D,
Yeah,
but it's really just here is a 3D environment that you would see in a PS2, PS3 game with 16-bit characters walking around.
yeah, I thought that was really really cool. Um, and I'm just looking at the price on it. It's only $50.
Yeah, and it's a remake of the second game. So like,
Do
if
they
you
have a really
haven't,
expensive?
huh?
Do they have a real expensive like
Oh yeah,
collector's?
yeah they do.
I'm all scared to look that up.
Yeah, I don't know how expensive it is, but I know that there is one. I don't know if the first game had a physical copy or something. The remake of it, maybe it did. You can write us if we're wrong. Um, but yeah, they were on like PSP. I want to say is the last time these games came out
Yeah,
because I have First Departure on PSP, which is a remake of the first game. But
yeah.
yeah,
But I thought like overall, like I said, I thought overall it was pretty good. I don't um I think as gamers we expect it always to be like bam, 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 and we don't think of it in the long run. But I personally thought this one was pretty good. You know, I
I
I, I have no qualms on it.
yeah, this along with some others that we've talked about before, this is like a prime direct. This is one of the best directs that you will ever see. This is a direct that people are probably going to talk about again and again in the future. Um it is objectively amazing.
Yeah,
And if you don't think that, you are wrong. Honestly, like there were so many things here, even if they're not for you. Mario RPG like is huge. That is very big. Um, like the two Mario things in general are huge news. Um,
oh yeah. The fact that they announced Batman coming to Switch, I thought was yes. People are upset that there's only gonna be one on a cart, but if
yeah,
you thought that all three were gonna be on one cart, I mean, it doesn't make it just not physically possible. But the that was a pretty cool one for me there.
yeah,
The Mario's I thought was really cool. Um
yeah. There's just way too many things on here that point that this was a very good direct. Even if you don't like any of these, there's still so much here that it is objectively good. There's no
yeah.
other way to say it. There's no like subjectively you can like the games, you can hate the games. Objectively, this is a very good direct. And we won't see many like these, unfortunately. So
Also, you're talking
hope you
about
liked it.
you're talking about a system that's been out for how long?
Yeah,
And it's still kicking and they're
yeah,
still keeping up. They're still keeping up with the big boys. Are they ever going to surpass PlayStation's 5's numbers? No, but they're keeping up with them. Uh, I think they're probably doing better than Xbox right now.
oh yeah, I'm sure.
Now, all it's going to take is for those two major systems to come out with a special edition of something. Because the last one that I saw was Halo's
Yeah,
special edition. But like, you know, as we've seen, how many for Nintendo? I mean, they're like,
ton.
yeah. So I think this is well done. I think we'll still see another direct or something before the holidays, and they'll throw a couple of like, hey, this isn't coming out till next year, and then they'll throw in like, oh, by the way, this is coming out this year.
Hmm.
I mean, I was really hoping to see another Game and Watch, which would have been really cool.
Oh
Uh,
yeah,
I mean, I don't know what they would do
that'd be
on it.
really cool. Get a new make it a download. Do Game and Watch gallery again, like the Game Boy games where it was like, here's Mario versions of Game and Watch games. Like they should do
Yeah,
that again.
I always thought that they should do a Kirby or Metroid Game and Watch.
Hmm.
The Metroid one would be awesome, you know,
Yeah,
because
I agree.
I have both Game and Watches, and
Yeah.
it is the coolest thing to boot up the Zelda Game Boy game,
Hmm.
and it looks great on the screen.
Yeah.
I mean, mine I bought just for display, but it is pretty cool. Um,
Yeah.
but again, looking at where we're at today, I thought this was really, really good. I know people were talking about they're going to show a new Switch. I was like, nah, not this time.
No way.
I think they'll show it before the end of the year. They'll be like, hey, by the
Nah.
way,
No way.
I mean, I got to get my points in somehow this year. And I think I'm not batting very well because that and Grand Theft Auto, which on a quick rant here, seriously, Grand Theft Auto. I
Yeah.
mean, I just don't know what they're doing. Now, granted, they had some major people leave Rockstar Games,
Yeah.
but throw us a bone here at some point. Don't release a special edition on PS5 of Grand Theft Auto 5. Don't do it. Or hey, we did we're gonna do Red Dead Redemption on PS5 now. Red Dead 2. Just give us Grand Theft Auto, man. Something.
I'm looking at our stuff right now. Our gaming predictions for 2023. My
Oh yeah.
last one was Ben will buy GTA 5 on Xbox Series X.
I have not bought it. I have not bought it. I I had it from a while ago when it was free on the Epic Store, and I was playing on my PC, and I'm like, this is so boring to me now. You know, I've done the story twice. I've done 2 different endings and made different decisions. Which is funny because like Saints Row, that was gonna be my one that I was gonna get into like Grand Theft Auto, and the glitches were so bad that I just never went back to it. And I own like the top tier, which is funny. I sent Alex videos of the glitches. The lady was talking, and her arms were just all over the place.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, I open world like games like that. We just need more of. Um, I keep saying I'm gonna replay Red Dead Redemption 2 because I never finished it, but the thought of me going on a horse to go to one side of the other map and taking 20 minutes just does not sound fun for me.
Yeah.
So sorry, I went on a long tangent there, but that was my tangent.
You're good. But yeah, this is the Gag Gaming Plus podcast, where every other week we talk about cool things that we like to talk about. Again, if you want to catch this on YouTube, you can. If you go to youtube.com/gaggaming, you can also go to podcast services everywhere, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, all that fun stuff, and find us there. You can find us on social medias and all that stuff if you want to talk to us. I almost said Bezos. It's not Bezos. It's the same thing. What's his name? Musk. He hasn't stopped us yet. So if you do want to DM us, about stuff, you can still DM us. Looks for now on Twitter. So yeah. Do you have anything else to say to lovely people?
Just to get at it.
Get at it.